when we first started it, when I was at the University of Idaho, nobody else was doing it. You know, we'd run motion, do all that stuff, and you know, people wouldn't adjust. We got a lot of big plays. Well, what's happening now, like anything, you know, the defenses are seeing it all the time. You know, everybody in the NFL is in one back, and people are just starting the defense a little bit better and understanding what's going on with it, particularly the passing game aspect of it. So it's a lot harder to throw the football. But what you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to run the football. One thing about the one back that I really like, doesn't make any difference, and I'll go over the formations in a second. You know, everybody's doing it. The thing I like about it, number one, is it spreads the defense. You can see what's going on. It spreads the defense. Regardless of what happens in the running game, it spreads people out. I mean, you can have this guy sitting in here, you can have him there, you can have him there. It doesn't make any difference. But what it does, regardless of what the front is it takes somebody out of run responsibility to play the pass. And when we first started, it was a mismatch. You know, that guy against that guy in the passing game. Well, people are playing 5 DBs, 6 DBs, all those different things. So it's not as much of a mismatch as it used to be. But what it does is it does bring somebody out to cover that guy, and it opens up the running game. The other thing that I like about it is it gets receivers out quick. You know, whether it's a quick passing game or whether it's drop back. The thing that you can do, whether you motion the guy, you know, or whether you just set him there, you can get four or five receivers out very quick. Obviously, you can get 4 out quick. You know, getting him from here compared to here makes a big difference. And so in your passing game, you can get 4 receivers out a heck of a lot quicker. The other thing that I really like about it is you can identify the blitz a lot better. And everybody's playing pressure defense. We're going to play the Huskies, you know, where they got 8 up and they back out, or Arizona State, or whatever. But the thing that you can do against stuff like that, you can identify if they're going to blitz or not. The bottom line, whether it's this formation or trips or whatever, you know, if that guy's going to blitz, or if that guy's going to blitz, whatever, they've obviously got to get the free safety over there to cover it. And when you set the guy in the backfield, they can do a lot of disguising, do a lot of different things. You know, they can bring different guys from different places and you can't see it. So what we try to do is spread them out, so if that guy's going to come in and blitz, that free safety has to get over and you can deal with the blitz. Because dealing with the blitz is not easy. I don't care what you got called up front or what protection you have. If they're going to blitz you, you better max up, try to get the ball deep, try to throw the slant, the quick out, or whatever. And if you can't see it coming, regardless of if those backs are in there, you got problems. So what we try to do is spread them out so that we can identify the blitz. The other thing in blitz is it's a lot easier to throw the hot. You know, you talk about the hot principle of the passing game. You know, and it can be your tight end or your tailback. But when you have 2 guys in there and they're going to blitz you, and the only guy that's hot is him, you know, they can snuggle up, bring that strong safety, and take that thing away. So in the one back with the tailback out here, if they're going to blitz you, we spend a lot of time as far as the hot part of it is concerned. So if they bring anybody, for us now that guy's hot, whether it's outside or inside. So the hot principle of the passing game is a lot easier to read and a lot easier to throw. Because if you try to throw it to the back, number one, he's got to find a way to get out. You know, if they're going to blitz and engage, they're going to take a backer and bring him, but if he releases, he's going to play him. It's a lot easier to see that because now you got him sitting out here and they can't blitz and engage. So if they're going to bring him, he's got to get over. You can throw the ball hot to him flat or inside, and for us it's been a real big thing, throwing the ball hot. You know, anymore in the passing game, to try to identify what's going on, you can see it. But if they're going to bring them all, you've got to deal with the hot principle. And getting the back out or to the tight end's hard. You cannot snuggle up on this guy like you can the tight end. Different athlete. Even if you do, then you just run it down the football field and let it go. And you got a mismatch. So, you know, they've got to play that, and they got to play the hot principle, and it makes a heck of a difference. The other thing that I talked about earlier is opening up the running game. And I really believe that. And I still do, and I always will. Obviously at Arizona it wasn't like we wanted it. You know, I made Rich Olson the offensive coordinator that day. I kind of let it go myself. Shit, I'm going to take it over from now on. But just kidding. But what it does, and let's say he's in there in the eye, you still got to block that guy. I mean, you can run the ISO, you can run the zone play, you can run a lot of that, but it doesn't make any difference. You know, that guy's got to block that guy. And that's the bottom line. You've got to get that guy blocked. So what our theory is let's get that guy out there. Let's get him out there. We're going to block him with our tailback, but he also has to play pass. And so we just move him out. We run the same thing, and I'm going to go over the running game real quickly. We're going to run the same things that you would out of the eye, or split backs, or anything. All we're saying is, now you be responsible for pass, and we're going to come off, and he's got to play pass, and we're going to block him. And it's a lot easier blocking him 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, you know, than taking a fullback, you know, and trying to block him on ISO on the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, that's the whole theory of the one back as far as the running game is concerned. The other thing I like about it is you can get a bunch of different formations and do the same thing. It doesn't make any difference. Our formations basically, our formation that we use in the middle of the football field or off a hash is doubles. You know, it's a balanced formation in the middle of the football field because you see balanced defenses.